this is where we say measuring, because we're talking about how do we identify NCAC and how is that possible? And like
Yes.
right
How do you
now,
benchmark?
yeah, and inside of here, we know that we've increased it. So again, it's cash. That's all it is. It's a very, very simplistic model of looking at this. So pull out your handy dandy calculator, and that's when we look at, we say, okay, we have $856 and more spend. Okay. If we look at our customers, which is this tab here, and we look at the last 30 days and yesterday, we have 104. So let's just do 104 here. 104. I know I have more new customers minus the previous period of 1010 to 11.8, which is 43. Then we have to look at 104 minus 43. We have 61 new customers, cost us $856. So 856 divided by 61 is coming in at a $14 NCAC. That $14 NCAC puts us at, technically in the last 30 days, we have a $24 AOV. So we're basically making, we basically have an NMR of, let's do this here. Let's see, 24.32 by 14.03. So 1.73 NMR. So we're making 173% on every single new customer before the LTV kicks in. So that right there is
on reusable products too, which is insane.
Exactly right. So I have a $14 NCAC. A $14 NCAC looks a lot different than a $126 NCAC. So that's how far off Meta is.
That's crazy.
Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to scale this again. So that's all I wanted to showcase is that what's the benchmark? Meta's like, dear God, nothing's working. My bank account says otherwise. Who wins? Simple as it gets.
Gotcha. So in a nutshell, and I think this would be good for the next topic to cover, which would be how do you figure out your NMR targets or your NCAC targets. But in a nutshell, the two things that we're looking at is the KPI of the total, meaning that we're not looking at attribution, we're looking at the total. What is the NCAC? What is the NMR? And pick one of those. We'll talk, the reason why you maybe want to pick one over the other. But you look at that and you say, okay, is it getting better? Is it getting worse? And then you just look at spend levels. That's it. So the old viewpoint, which this was me like 4 months ago, was, okay, do I see a trend line going up or down in platform? Now it's kind of the mindset of like, nope. Don't even look at like just that you're just looking at, is there any data coming in? That's maybe something you should care about. And other than that, it's just spend levels, just the spend, just the NMR or the NCAC. That's it.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to transition into like how are things progressing. We know that Meta says nothing is working. Now, that's good for Meta. Let's actually do this. I'm going to pause camera. You pause camera just to make this video bigger. I actually can see it so much better when we both pause. Hopefully everyone out there in internet land says that this is better too. But when we're looking at this, I have to say, okay, what were we spending on? So out of $1,600, we have $1,000 spent on this one here. So this one's kind of leading the charge. So if this is leading the charge, theoretically, this should be higher than my average. And it is. That's kind of rule number one. Where you're spending the most amount of money on that ad, everything else should dictate a lower CPA. Why? Because if I'm spending the most amount of my money on this is the first thing that people are engaging with. Well, on last click attributed, when the remarketed comes in like 33 or comes in like 21, if they clicked. Now this one is 247. It's horrible, but you give one more purchase to that, this thing becomes a very great ad. It drops down into lower than this, which is, again, we're only spending $1,600, so we have to give this time. But this is still trending the way that I want it to do. They see this, they click there, I get, a decent CPA average, and I start to sell more. That's okay. I know that the model is working. Is that number higher than that number? Yes. What is that number? Not real, but it's higher. Good. That's all I need it to be. Now, when we're looking at the charts, yes, learning is limited. It's not generating enough results to exit the learning phase. That's okay. See how Meta right here would be like, hey, amateur advertiser, go blow out your NCAC because Meta wants money. The publicly traded company is asking for money. Shocker. So is it actually producing results? Well, Meta doesn't know what's actually happening. So I'm not going to listen to Meta. So am I spending? Yes. Now, what am I spending on? Well, I'm spending on a 38% hook rate. Well, that's cool. What is the average Meta ads hook rate? Well, the average Meta ads hook rate is 25 to 35. 20 to 29 is average, 30 to 49 is strong, and then the 15 is on the lower end. Anything above 40 and 50 is considered excellent or top tier. So anything above 40 to 50, okay, cool. Well, I'm like 2 basis points away from excellent. So you're telling me that I'm spending money on users who say my ad is excellent and Meta says it's not working? Well, that doesn't seem right. So that's the first thing you look at is, are you getting really, really good engagement? And if the answer is yes, my engagement is actually very clean, 42. Well, that looks like it's considered excellent and top tier. Now, Meta says that it has a really horrible NCAC, but we know that that's literally like $230 over my average. So do I really care about that? No, not really. Well, what's the next thing that we're getting? A 67% hook rate. Okay. So am I going to chuck this out the window because this thing is literally in the top tier performance, but Meta says that, no one clicked on it. So just kill. No, it's not how things work. We can't say that there's humans out there loving my ads and then my bank account rising, but Meta says to stop. Why would I ever stop? Every other metric besides Meta's CPA says fantastic. Okay, cool. I'm just going to keep going. So that's the reason for why I believe that the Meta attribution is last to literally every single thing else that's out there. Hey, if you like this video, we have a Skool community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.